Good happy Saturday morning. I'm Riley King, and it is Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. Welcome to your Saturday morning edition of WRMK News 12. We got a lot of news to get to this Saturday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, USGS confirms magnitude 2.7 earthquake hits New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Game on, New Hampshire. Have some fun and place your bets on your favorite sports teams. New DraftKings customers get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Get the latest odds on some of the biggest matchups on WMUR News 9 Sports every night at 6 and 11.
All right, back now, and we're getting a lot of people with reports in the Concord area feeling their houses shaken maybe about 15 minutes ago or so, around 11:19. You know, it was 5-6 seconds of shaking. And if you're looking here, this is from the Western Observatory. This is in Massachusetts at Babson College. So what you can see there is you see that line and you see exactly where something looks a little larger. We're waiting to see exactly from the USGS if this was in fact a confirmed earthquake, and if so, what the magnitude was. But it indicates at least something happened right around the time we heard all those phone calls and emails. So we'll keep you posted.
Okay, and they have confirmed that. We can tell you USGS has confirmed it was centered in Concord on Friday evening. And multiple viewers in Concord, Belmont, Boscawen, Candia, Chichester, Durham, Dunstable, Epsom, Hopkinton, Manchester, Pembroke, Pittsfield, and Raymond reported feeling this earthquake. The USGS reported the earthquake hit 11:15 at the depth of about 3 miles. The epicenter was just southeast of the Steeplegate Mall. Some viewers reported hearing large boom and felt their home shake or rumble. Millions of New Englanders expected to travel more than 50 miles from home over holidays. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
I'm happy to be home for the holidays.
As drivers across the country hit the roads, that means filling up at the pump. But Granite Staters are seeing a bit of holiday luck this year.
Motorists in New Hampshire are paying about 10 to 15 cents less than they were last year. So it's also the least expensive gas that we're seeing at the pump since the end of 2020. In the beginning of 2021.
But nationally, gas prices are starting to inch higher for the first time since September. The average is now $3.13 a gallon across the country, up 4 cents from a week ago. AAA says prices could fluctuate up and down through the winter because of increased demand and rising oil prices.
We're on the way back home. This is a midway point for us to put some more fuel in the tank.
Joseph is just one of the nearly 4.5 million New Englanders expected to travel within the next 10 days. AAA says tomorrow, the 28th and the 30th will be the busiest days to drive, but some travelers say tonight was pretty smooth.
We left just in time out of the big city of Boston to get here. And so the roads weren't bad.
Traffic was okay. There's definitely more people on the roads than last year.
Travel by bus, cruise ship, and train are all expected to be up 8% from last year, with more travelers taking to the skies as well.
Hundreds of thousands of people are going to be hitting the airports in Manchester and Portsmouth and Burlington, Vermont, and Portland.
Okay, and there you go on that report. One person rescued after driving into Beaver Brook in Windham, authorities said. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Get peace of mind and monitored reliable power with the Generac automatic standby generator installed by Generator Supercenter of New Hampshire. Installation, maintenance, and 24/7 repairs. Don't wait. Call or visit GeneratorSupercenterofNewHampshire.com for a free estimate.
To get your right to breaking news here at 10, one person has just been rescued from their vehicle after somehow ending up in some very fast-moving water in Londonderry. I'm Steve Otari.
And I'm Marissa Tansino. This is all happening right now along Beaver Brook. This is near Mammoth Road and Anderson Road. You can take a look at the map on your screen at the Londonderry-Wyndham Town Line. WMUR's Imani Fleming is there live now. And Imani, what can you tell us?
Marissa, Steve, we're not going to waste any time here. We're going to show you exactly what we are seeing. I just moments ago spoke with a Londonderry fire official who confirmed the following information with me. This car you see here on your screen drove off the roadway and ended up in this body of water. One person was in the vehicle at the time it went off the roadway. We know 2 rescuers entered the water, and we know this river, like you mentioned, is named Beaver Brook. We are right on the Londonderry-Wyndham Town Line. Londonderry Fire tells me the person inside the car was in fact trapped in their vehicle. Rescuers used tools to make an opening larger for that person to get out. They then tied that person to a flotation device, secured the line, and those same 2 rescuers and the people on the shoreline, also rescuers, brought this person into the water and to shore. This person was taken to a Manchester hospital, and we know that Wyndham police and fire crews are here. I'm counting at least a dozen police cars. I'm counting several fire trucks, and we actually did watch an ambulance leave the scene. Right now, crews and us are waiting for a towing company to come to the scene. The Londonderry fire official I spoke with tells me that they're going to get a large rotating boom to pluck this car out of the water, and we know that that person right now is being treated at the hospital. Like I said, a very active scene here. There are dozens of police officers, dozens of crews, fire officials, police officials. We are going to still be at the scene. We're going to watch this car hopefully get out of the water, and we'll bring you more information about the condition of that person as soon as we got it. For now, we're live in Londonderry. Imani Fleming, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Bill would allow New Hampshire officials to report mental health information to federal background check system for gun purchases. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Get peace of mind and monitored reliable power with the Generac automatic standby generator installed by Generator Supercenter of New Hampshire. Installation, maintenance, and 24/7 repairs. Don't wait. Call or visit GeneratorSupercenterofNewHampshire.com for a free estimate.
Bradley's Law is named after Bradley Haas, the security officer killed at New Hampshire Hospital. It would give the New Hampshire Judicial Branch and the Department of Safety the green light to report whether someone has been involuntarily committed to a mental health facility, found not guilty by reason of insanity, or found incompetent to stand trial and found by the court to be a danger to themselves or others to the National Instant Check System, or NICS. That person could lose access to any firearms and ammunition they currently own, but would be able to file a petition for relief after a certain amount of time.
Okay, and there you go on that report. New Hampshire Department of Corrections expand mental health and substance abuse training program. The New Hampshire Department of Corrections is expanding its mental health training program thanks to grant from the Governor's Commission on Alcohol and Other Drugs. On Friday, the Department of Corrections announced that all department staff will go through specialized training for mental health and substance use response with National Alliance on Mental Illness, New Hampshire. Every staff member will be trained in responding to people with mental illness, building a trauma response correctional setting, and crisis intervention. Department leadership said addressing mental health and substance use issues will help rehabilitate New Hampshire residents who are incarcerated. NAMI officials said they are looking forward to working with the Department of Corrections to provide advocacy for people affected by mental illnesses. The Department of Corrections said the training will begin in 2024. East Kingston Fire Department drives hours to Pittsburgh to deliver toys after Christmas gifts were stolen. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
You look great.
Send the gift they really want with money transfers from MoneyGram.
The Grinch did not steal Christmas in Pittsburgh this year.
Even though he tried to cancel the holiday cheer, there was no way to stop Christmas from coming to Coos County this year.
We are just blown away by that generosity and kindness.
The team at Christmas for Kids had collected hundreds of toys to give away. They made this holiday possible for 100 children in Pittsburgh last Friday.
That was 300 toys that we passed out, and we were absolutely thrilled.
But when Dr. Lisa Bachok checked on the remaining gifts the next day, they'd been stolen. $1,000 worth lost left her filled with a lot of emotion.
Our Christmas spirit sort of plummeted.
But after that awful news got out, a special Santa and his helper made sure Christmas wouldn't be spoiled by a grouch.
I'm not going to let a thief ruin a bunch of kids' Christmas just because they can get away with it.
East Kingston Fire Chief Ed Warren and Administrative Assistant Heather Desmond knew just what to do, driving 7 hours round trip to deliver dozens of toys, all of them new.
I don't care that it's 3 days before Christmas. We're going to find a way to make this happen.
They'd had a Troy drive just a few weeks ago with plenty left over, so they filled their sleigh and started driving to where it's colder.
Just because of one Grinch, we're not going to let them ruin Christmas for everybody else.
And even though Christmas isn't about the boxes and bows, the true meaning of the holidays were found on New Hampshire's back roads.
A lot of good can come from one bad thing.
So at this hour, Chief Warren and Heather are on their way back home. The team at Christmas for Kids says Pittsburgh police is still investigating who might have done this. We're live in the studio tonight. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Service for Rye Fire Lieutenant honors his dedication to family in the Rye community. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Get peace of mind and monitored reliable power with the Generac automatic standby generator installed by Generator Supercenter of New Hampshire. Installation, maintenance, and 24/7 repairs. Don't wait. Call or visit GeneratorSupercenterofNewHampshire.com for a free estimate.
Pulling up in an antique fire truck that was a labor of love for the lieutenant, his casket was met with honor by his brothers and sisters in service. Following behind him, those who loved him most, filling the church to pay tribute to his life that ended far too soon.
Chuck won't want everybody being somber. It would go against his nature.
Lieutenant Chuck Gallant was just 56 when he died, but lived a full life in that time.
He gave and never expected much of anything in return.
He was known as a family man, so proud of the life he built with his longtime love, Kelly. Together, they had 2 children and 4 grandchildren who called him Bampy.
Dad, you meant so much to me. I am forever grateful to have you as my father.
He loved his other family, too, the ones that he spent his nights with for 20 years.
He will be with us every day in our hearts, and I know he'll be looking over us every time we step foot on that apparatus.
His free time was spent riding, fixing, and racing bicycles, and making it his mission that any kid in Rye who needed a present would have one at Christmas time. His work with the Rye Toy Bank brought gifts to thousands over the years. Today, firefighter traditions were held to honor Lieutenant Gallant's final call.
Rockingham to Rye Fire Rescue 01, Lieutenant Charles Gallant. Rest easy, Lieutenant. take it from here.
And one of his final joys in life was learning that his application to make the Toy Bank a certified nonprofit here in New Hampshire had been accepted. He found out just 2 days before he died. The chief says there's no way the department would have been able to make it through this without help from other departments in the state that have stepped up to cover Rye at this time. That way the crew there has time to grieve and heal. We're live in Portsmouth tonight. Kelly O'Brien, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Law enforcement officials on high alert. Let's take a listen to that report from ABC News.
Back here at home, law enforcement on high alert as the war in the Middle East fuels tensions across this country. The FBI warning that New Year's Eve in Times Square is a, quote, attractive target for violence. And the Deputy U.S. Attorney General saying there's been an unprecedented rise in terror threats this holiday season. Here's ABC's Chief Justice Correspondent, Pierre Thomas.
Just days before the iconic ball drop in New York's Times Square, tonight top law enforcement officials on high alert, warning that America is facing perhaps its highest threat level since 9/11. A new threat assessment obtained by ABC News says the location is an attractive target for foreign terrorist organizations and violent extremists. Fueling the steady rise in threats, the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The FBI now has 100 active full-scale investigations tied to that conflict.
Since October 7th, the FBI has received more than 1,800 reports of threats or other types of tips or leads that are somehow related to or have a nexus to the current conflict in Israel and Gaza.
In an exclusive interview, Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco says threats to public officials are reaching alarming levels. Just today, a 52-year-old man arrested for threatening to bomb an FBI field office in Los Angeles. The FBI intercepting emails to an unnamed agent from the suspect, calling himself the Unabomber, and writing that he was willing to commit mass murder.
Just this week, Pierre, we've had cases involving threats to kill FBI agents, a Supreme Court justice, and 3 presidential candidates.
And with that suspect charged with threatening 3 presidential candidates, allegedly said he wanted to shoot and impale them. So you can see why these threats have to be run down. Whit?
Pierre Thomas, thank you. And you can watch the rest of Pierre's exclusive interviews Sunday morning on This Week.
Hi, everyone. George Stephan.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for this morning edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great Saturday morning and day, everyone. And we'll see you back here later on today for another broadcast. Goodbye, everyone.